welcome everybody. We are still, look at it, we're still in the middle of Edith. Well, we're not quite in the middle actually. Let me show you the book. Look, we're getting close to the end. All this is gone. So I think there's only maybe 2 signatures left. I did take 2 out today because I took 1 out and it just wasn't enough. So I've taken 2 out today and I think there's 2 left, so we are getting quite close to the end. Right, let me show you what I did today. I was using my templates. For those of you that haven't got them, they're on my Etsy shop. You don't have to buy them, you know, they're there if you want them. They're not very expensive, but don't feel as if you need to go and buy them. So this is the small, where are we? Yeah, there we are. The smile, it's the smile. It's a small coin envelope, and I just drew around it onto a sheet of the Edith page, all text, which is gorgeous. And then you just make it up, and it's, well, what you do is what I do anyway, is I put it on my board and I line up that with that, go down it, and then you've got your line to fold it with. So it's very, very straightforward. And then all I did was ink around it, and I stitched around here, which is sort of the front of it. So to glue it together, all you do is go down the edge of that side and the edge of this side, fold them over like so, and they will stick nicely. And then stick the bottom bit up, just go around the edge and then it won't get caught. Fold that up, and there, before you know it, is your little coin envelope. It looks to me like it's desperate to be embellished, maybe a butterfly, I don't know, something on there. Press that down till it sticks. That's it. I would leave my little flap up, to be honest, but if you wanted to stay down, you could put a little bit of Velcro. You could cut a Velcro button in half and put it either side. I think, however, if you're popping it in a pocket, you're not going to have a problem. It's going to stay closed, or as I say, you can leave it up like I'm going to leave mine. So there we are. That's 2 of those. We're off and running. We've only just begun and we're off and running already. The other thing I want to show you, well, there's 4 things actually I want to show you today, is, move aside, is this, which is, get the pin off, there we are, which is an envelope. And it's this one. It just says envelope, but it's the large envelope. There is a smaller version of this in the templates as well. This is the large one, and that measurement there is just short of the Edith Holden width of the page. So I just made them slightly narrower and it'll be fine. Glued them up like that. And that comes over there. Now, I haven't rounded my corners off on the top. You can if you want to, but I didn't want to round them off because I don't know how the person who gets this wants to decorate it. If you want to put lace all the way along, for example, then you want it square, because otherwise you can't get it, doesn't finish off very nicely. So yeah, that's ready for lace, ribbon, pearls, you name it. And I've just sewn around there. Once again, that would go into a pocket if you wanted to, or you could stick that onto a page, make that the pocket, and put a couple of bits of Velcro on there and just fold that over. So you'd have that as a pocket. It's a hidden pocket if you like. So that's that one. So in order to do that, this is what I did. I used this page. It's really lovely. I love it. And I used the large envelope to get that measurement there as well, where to fold it. So I inked all around it. I stitched all the way around it. Then these just fold in. That folds up. And look at that when you open it. It's just beautiful. So let's stick that down. So you can see, if you've got those templates, the work's kind of done for you, really. And I'm not saying that so you rush out and buy the templates, because I'm sure you can do these without templates. It's just kind of handy when you just draw around them, that's all. So let's glue that up there. And then we've got a nice envelope, secret pocket, whatever you want to, however you want to use it. There we are. And that's all inked around and sewn around and ready to be decorated. So we've made a coin envelope. And this, is that it? Is that what we've made so far? Yeah, I think so. So there we are. They're ready to go in the basket. Right, the next one that I want to show you, it's a kind of repeat from one we've done earlier, but it's kind of different. A little bit. If you watch, you'll see what I'm on about. It's our little envelope, accordion envelope. And I did show you how to do this on another one. But that time I had envelopes to use, and this time I've got no envelopes that are the right size. So I'm going to have to make my own. So I used the small file folder, just drew around it, cut it out, sewed right around it, inked all around it, and that's what I'm left with. Okay, right, so now the tricky dicky bit. Well, it's not tricky. I don't know why I'm saying that. It's not even tricky. So this is just copier paper. I happen to have cream. I found some cream cheap somewhere, so I bought it. And I'm going to fold that up. That's about an inch and 3/4. Yeah, it's about 1 3/4 inches. So let's go for that. Crease that in. Crease it in nicely with your bone folder. Like that. Now then, we have to work out where we want. I want the accordion bit to be about 1/8 of an inch up from the bottom and 1/4 of an inch up from the top, down from the top. So let's measure that, where that is, where that comes to. And that comes to about there. Oh, I might have been a bit over the top with my 3/4 of an inch, it doesn't matter. And now I need to just score that down there, where we put that mark. So I've got, and that's actually 2.5, that is. So there we are, that's scored that in. All we're doing is making a tube. So the measurements really don't matter that much. So that, oh, I've done it the wrong way. Stupid woman. Oh, I'll have to get another piece of paper. I thought it was looking a bit little. My goodness me. Well, I'm not going to cut that out because I like leaving things like that in, so you can see that I too make boo-boos. Right, let's do this again then. I'm still not going to fold in the 1 3/4 that I had before. I'm going to fold in, that's about 1.5 inches there-ish. So it's the same basic principle, but completely different size. So let's burnish that in there. Right, what I want is this measurement. Not that one, this one. Oi, Kakin! He's a little devil. Right, so I want it about 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch each side. So let's just put that there, make a mark here, about there, that's fine. Then I'm going to score it again, and hopefully this time I should be okay. So that is 3 3/4 this time. So yeah, I was well out before. There we go. And I want to fold that over, line it up there so it's nice and square, and see how much of an overlap I've got. I've got about 1/2 inch. That's okay. I think I'll be okay with that. So let's just check that that's right, that that's going to fit in there. Let's just see. Perfect. Finally. So I'm just going to glue this down to make sort of one complete, well, it's going to be a tube really more than anything else. I'll show you in a second. I'm just going to do the edge of this so both sides where they overlap will be glued down. There we go. So hold that one, fold that one over, stick it down. Right, there we go. So we have made ourselves a tube. Got a long tube like that. Okay. So this is going to be the accordion part of it. Get off. So I need to measure how long I want this to be. So this is the bit where I want it about 1/8 up from the bottom. I haven't even inked that. It's a bit remiss, isn't it? Right, about 1/8 up from the bottom and about 1/4 in from the top. So about, that's my 1/4, about there. I'll tell you what that measures. It measures 1, 2 and a half, 2.5 inches. That's convenient, isn't it? Right, so let's get this and score that in. It's just a fraction less than 2.5 actually, but I'm going for 2.5. Score that in really well. And then fold that over. Like that, burnish that down. There we go. Then get your trimmer out or your knife or whatever it is that you use to cut. On this occasion I'm going to use the trimmer. Actually, if I ink this, you'll be able to see it a lot better. So I'm just going to ink along that edge. So that's what I've got. I've folded my end in like that. I'm going to put this into my trimmer. And cut it along that line, along the inky line, which is the edge of the pocket. So there we are. So now you can see we've got sort of 2 accordion bits. Now I don't know if the thing is big enough to hold sort of 4. Shall I just go for it? No, I'm not going to, because I think it'll only hold 3. So I'm going to just mark off this piece the same length as the other one there. I'm just going to use one additional one. There we go. And that bit can come in for a pocket. Just glue along the bottom, put something on the front, and you'll have yourself a pocket. Throw nothing away. Right, there we are then. We've got our 3 little things. This one is the last one we cut, so it really is a tube. You can see all the way through it, look. So I need to make that into a pocket. So I'll just put some glue along the bottom there. And it'll just become a pocket. Right, then, what now? Let's ink everything, and then we can see what we're up to. So I'm still using my frayed burlap. Ink everywhere, down the edges, everywhere. Because even the bits you think you can't see, you actually can see. I'm not putting a thumb notch in this. These are so small that it would take up most of the space if I did. Just think it's a nice thing to add into your journal, really. Nice thing for somebody to discover. And this one, that's the top there, so link that. Yeah, just checking where the top was, that I hadn't performed some conjuring trick. There we go. Right, so let's glue them together. So these ones, they already have been folded with the seam in the middle. So what I'm going to do is just maybe that middle sort of 2 inches there, and then just a little squiggle down there like that. Fold that up, give it a good press down, pressing. It's the most disgusting day here. I couldn't tell you of a more disgusting day. The rain is properly horizontal. It hasn't stopped all day long. It's blowing a hoolie, as they'd say up here. With this one, I just want this one with the seam on the inside. This is going to be the outside because it's the last one. So I'm just going to do the same. A couple of inches of sort of glue along there, and then a little squiggle, and put this carefully on top so you've got it at in the right place. So yeah, the weather, my goodness. It's really not worth talking about. It's horrible. So that should be okay. I don't want to open it too much because I've obviously just put the glue on it. The ink. Silly woman. And now I'm going to stick it into the folio. No, that's the one I've already done. Where's my other folio gone then? Did I cut it out? Oh my goodness, where is it? Here it is. Right, so this just needs to get stuck into here. Just kind of like that. If I ink along the bottom there, you'll be able to see how far up from the bottom I'm coming. So there, this is the top. This is where it's going to get stuck in, like that. So you see there's a little gap along the bottom, little gap along the top, and it just sits quite snugly there in between the stitching. So I'm going to stick this on in a very similar way, just sort of a couple of inches of glue and then a bit of a tail down like that. So just get that fairly central and level. Like that. I think that's okay. Give it a good squish down. And then want the same one here. Same sort of gluing method. Fold that up and give it a good press down. And it's at this stage, if you've got something heavy, just, stick it on top of it and leave it for a minute or two, and it'll all glue itself where it should be. So that's kind of what we've got. But, like I say, I want to leave it and just get let that glue get hardened up. But you know, it's absolutely ripe for embellishing. You know, you could, I mean, a stamp would just look fabulous there, wouldn't it? And a butterfly, and I mean, I've got a little butterfly here. I want it for something else, but you know, if you just put a butterfly on there even, and a number, it would be fabulous. Have I got a butterfly here? I was feeling the urge to do it. I've got a green one. That's okay actually, but I prefer orangey ones. I've got that one, that's nice. And I've got this ginormous one. That's just too large, don't be silly. Don't be stupid. So I'm going to fussy cut around there. That is what I am going to do. So sorry about that, guys. I hadn't prepared myself because I didn't know I was going to do it. It just looks so nice though. So I'll try my hardest to be quite quick. But I don't want to spoil the butterfly either. Almost halfway done. Yeah, his head's going to have a bit of rearrangement, I think. He's going to have some neurosurgery. Oh, and I'm so quiet when I'm concentrating. That's what Mr. F says. Haven't you got anything you need to concentrate on? Because it shuts me up. That's mean, isn't it? Yeah, he's mean. He's so much better. So much better. Honestly, I was quite worried about him, you know, when he fell over in the... Well, he didn't fall over, he collapsed in the bathroom. It's funny when someone that you always deem to be so strong suddenly isn't. Yeah, gave me a bit of a start, I can tell you. But he's absolutely loads better now, so we're fine. I'm going to use Vintage Photo to go around that because it's quite dark. And just quickly go around it. Didn't make a bad job of that considering. It's fine. There we are. Lovely. So I think that looks nice on there. And I'll just see if I can find my stamps. I thought it was all going rather too well. Ah, there they are. So I just want a little stamp to put on there. Does name of remitter, oh, wrong one. Name of remitter go on there? Yes, it jolly well does. Let's do that one then. Use my teeny tiny world's smallest block, and I'm just, oh, I've got archive. No, I'll use the Vintage Photo. Quite like the colour. This Vintage Photo must be nearly dry. Oh no, don't say I'm going to have to buy some Vintage Photo. Let's pop that on there. See if it works. Yeah, that's fine. It's quite similar in colour actually. So let's stick this butterfly on. Thank you to everybody who's been ordering things from my Etsy shop. It's very, very kind of you, and it really does go some way to, you know, to pay for all these videos that I make. Because as we all know, crafting stuff is not cheap. Let's just pop that on there, like that. I don't think that needs any more, really. I think that's nice. Wow, that's so pretty. And that's that. Inside. Oh, isn't that nice? So yeah, we've made that as well then. And like I say, we've got this pocket. We'll still use that if we want to. Let me get this stamp off here. Put it back there. Put those away. Oh, quite, I was going to say I'm quite organised today, and then the stamps just slid down. Right, so the next thing I want to show you is this. And it's just a bit of extra journaling, really. So there it is, fit nicely into a pocket, I would say. And it just opens up like that. And you've got all that journaling. So it's so much more journaling than just a tag or a journaling card, you know. You've got all this inside. And if you wanted to, you could stick that down. It would be a shame to, because it's really pretty. I made it out, that is a whole page of Edith there. And then this brown bit, the brown circle, is actually the bit in the front cover of Edith. You know, when you open it up, there's in mine anyway, it's brown. I think they vary, but that's what I used for that anyway. So it's still Edith. I'm just getting a bit cute. So I've laid out a page, this page, which is lovely, I think. And I'm just, I mean, that's nice as well, but I can't have both sides, I just can't. So I'm going to fold that in like that, fold that in like that, put my circles on there, and as they say, the job's a good one. So for my journaling, I've used this cream paper that I've been using throughout, the Adagio. Any cream paper will do, it does not have to be this Adagio. It's just, you know, slightly thicker paper, I would say, or thin card. And I've inked all the way around there, all the way around there, and all the way around there, so you didn't have to sit and watch me do that. Now I'm going to stitch it. So I'm going to glue it, but I'm going to kind of steer clear of the edges and just put a bit around. There we go, that'll do nicely. And I've made this just slightly smaller than the page, so there's a bit of a margin around it, because I like it when it looks like that. So there we are, I've got this small margin. Yeah, it is a small margin, it's a very small margin on that side. Yeah, that's better, that's better, that's better, yeah. It's still not straight. Goodness me. When I was doing it, just practicing, it came out perfect first time. Right, that is straight. That is a margin all the way around. It's obviously one of those days. Let's put the lid on here. And just going to pop you on pause, and I'm just going to sew around that. Okay, so I've sewn around there, and now I just want to have a look at this and see where because I rather like that. I think that looks nice. It's pleasing in that shape. So I scored it there, and I scored it there. So let's do that. Let's score that. Yeah, there's the other piece of the brown page, which I'm sure will come in for something. You know, as we go along, I'm sure I'll find other uses for it. So let's just score those lines in, if I can see where they are. Yeah, there. So that is 2 5/8. It's a bizarre one, isn't it? So score it quite well, because there's the Edith paper and the card inside. And then this one, which I'll tell you what that measures in a sec once I get it in the right place. There we go. It's such a handy little thing, this, honestly. Right, so I'm going to fold those in. They should be alright, because then they didn't have wet glue on them. Well, they did, but not much. So yeah, that's fine. Let's burnish that in, and then this one. So I'll just tell you in a sec what these measure. this one, the left hand side one, measures 2 5/8. Yeah, that's what we said, didn't we? And this one here measures 2.5. So this one's 2.5, this is 2 5/8. So now I've got my circles that I've die cut using Teeny Tiny Timmy, and I've used the collage that I made out of just the plain pieces of paper. So I've got one that size and a brown the same size, and then another piece from that collage slightly smaller. So you'll see that it's just slightly smaller than that. They are the only two circle dies I could find. So I've made them. They had to work because they're all I had. So let's have a look then. Where's half? It measures 6 3/4. So if I budget along like that. So the centre is there. That's the centre. So let's put a little line so we kind of know. And the brown one wants to go there. So I'll just leave it like that and hopefully I'll be able to see where the centre is. So yeah. Well, I only want half of it glued. I have no idea where half is. I'm useless at seeing things on circles, totally useless. But let's say that's it there, shall we? And that's the half mark there. So let's go like that. I think that's probably all right. I don't think it's too far out. Let's see. Yeah, that's all right. So I've still got some glue on the back of there. You can see how far off I was. So I'm going to put the glue on the wrong side of this now. So you see it doesn't matter if I've got glue where I shouldn't have had glue. And I'm going to put this over the top of that. Like so. So let's just check that's right. That's okay. So yeah, there we go, that's that. And that's what it looks like inside, which is quite nice because it's proper Edith. And then I've got this, which I have stamped over just lightly with my illegible text stamp and the frayed burlap, so it's just light. And I'm going to stick that there. That's the plan. It just finishes it off nicely, I think. Quite a bit of glue on that because it's that Edith collage, it's quite thick. So let's see if I can get that fairly central. I don't think that's too bad there. Give that a good press down. What's that look like? That looks all right, doesn't it? And then back again to our faithful. Let's just burnish these down a bit more. To our faithful butterfly, and I'm just going to, it just fits just perfectly in there. I'm just going to pop him there. I rather like the look of him. So it's not a whole lot of work for a really quite nice looking, I think, bit of journaling. I think, you know, it fits in very nicely. There we go. There's our lovely butterfly. And that's it. So once again, if you leave that under some books or something, under your media mat, whatever it is, it will definitely flatten out, and you know, you can certainly get it into a pocket, or alternatively, same as the other one, you can just glue that in if you want to, and then you'll still have that. Personally, I think it's more use if you can take it out, if it's in a pocket and you can remove it. And also, why would you want to hide the beautiful Edithness? So let's have another look then at what we've done today. We've got those two. They're nice. We've got these two. Haven't decorated that one, but you know, you could. And that's what it looks like. It's turned out well, that thing. I like that. Yeah. And this one's pretty similar. Just needs a bit of decoration. We did the two small coin pockets. They haven't got much to them, but once again, you could cut a circle out, put a butterfly inside it, and you know, I'm just thinking butterflies at the moment, because there are rather a lot of butterflies in Edith, to be honest. So adding more is, you know, is a good thing probably. And then we've got, what are these? Oh yeah, the envelopes. There you go. Ah, that one needs. That one I didn't give enough glue to. So let's glue that again. Maybe I didn't glue it at all. Honestly, it doesn't look like it's had any glue on it. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. I can't see any. So there we go. It's glued now for sure. Right. So despite the fact that we had a bit of a boo-boo with the first accordion, I think we're all right with everything else. I really like everything else. 2 envelopes, 2 little accordions, 2 little coin pockets waiting to be filled. Well, filled, yeah, you could easily make a little tag to go in there. That's even more. Yeah, should we do that? Let's see if I've got anything I can do that with. Just make a little tag. Oh, look at all these going in the basket today. Excellent. So where are my Edith pages then? Yeah, I was getting a bit ahead of myself perhaps. Oh, I know, I've got the collages. They would be perfect. Yeah, let's cut a bit from the collage. They would be absolutely fabulous to go in there, wouldn't they? Let's start with this one up here. And I want it narrow enough to fit into it. So about where the stitching is, I would say. So I'm going to cut off down there. Oh, this is exciting. I hadn't thought of this. So just chop that down there. Lovely. And then let's see where we want to cut it. About, well actually it's about the top of there, to be honest. And the other one will be the same, so about there. So let's trim those out. This is lovely. I love using this stuff because it's something for nothing. It appeals to me. Appeals to the miser in me. There we go, and chop this one. Lovely. So they should do nicely in there. Let's just check it out. Perfect, absolutely perfect. Yeah. So all I need to do now is ink around them and stitch around them and then pop them in. Then they're much more of a finished thing, aren't they? That's pleased me. Yeah, because there was really, strictly speaking, no journaling in on the coin pockets, coin envelopes. Lovely. I'm going to leave them square. I think if I round them off, there'll be even less to journal on. Really good use of our little collage, which in itself was made up of remnants. So there we go. There we go. Right, just going to whiz around those quickly with the machine. I'll be back in a sec. Right, I've sewn around those and I've had an idea. Honestly, these have excited me more than anything this afternoon. I thought they were just going to be just boring, but they're not. So I don't know if I've said thank you to everybody who's recently subscribed to me, and by recently I kind of mean in the last 24 hours. I mean, I can't believe what's happened since Wendy from Wendy's Journal Adventures mentioned me. It's, you know, I can't thank her enough. She has boosted my channel was going all right really, but she's really boosted it. So what I thought I would do is put a hole in the corner of each of those. So let's do that first and put an eyelet in, and I'll use gold, not for any particular reason, just that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to make a mark where, because I'm hopeless at working out where they should be afterwards, so I'll make a mark where I want it first, and I'm going to use the big hole. I'll just make a mark where make a hole where I made my mark. That's what I'm trying to say. There. This just never comes out of mine. Everybody says just shake it and it'll come out. No, it doesn't want to. You've got to absolutely poke it out. Put the eyelets in. Oh no, I dropped it. Oh my goodness, it landed on my lap. You won't believe that. I thought it would go on the floor and it would be a whole thing. Because when you're a larger lady, getting down on the floor, it's not... Well, getting down isn't so bad. Getting back up. Yeah, that's not great. So, right, we've got that in there. Like that. Right. So what I thought I would do is attach... That can go in there. Attach a little tag. Now, do not ask me where I got these little tag dies from. This is how I store them. So my guess is they're from Ali. They could be from anywhere. But I thought I would cut out a little tag and attach it to there, and you'll see why in a minute. So I think I'm going to use the collage again because it's nice and stiff. But I probably don't want anything on it. So I might just use these little bits up the side. Yeah. So I'm going to cut that off. Up there. Like that. Is that wide enough for that? Yeah, I think so. Oh no, it says they're Sizzix. Yeah, they're Sizzix. They're definitely not chapter 3, that much I do know. So let's get the little beaut that is teeny tiny Timmy out. Pop that down, and shall I do 2 of the larger ones? Or 1 large one? Let's do 1 large, 1 small. Let's mix it up. Just put it on at a bit of an angle. The machine likes it better that way. I don't know if I'm going to have to stick these on with tape, possibly. I don't know. There we go. I think we should be alright. We'll give that a try anyway. Put that through. Have a look. Oh, perfect. Honestly, Tiny Timmy, he never lets you down. He is a fantastic boy. Possibly even my most favourite craft thing. So there's 1, there's 2. let me put these back in the bag, because you know what will happen. Yeah, we all know what will happen. They'll just get lost. So let's prod out that centre bit. Where's my pokey tool? Here it is. Poke those out. Now you can stamp on these if you want to. I'm not going to, because I think that the person that receives these will enjoy stamping on those, I would think. I would, but I'm just going to give them just a quick lick of ink around them. Way, it's alive, I tell you. There we are, and this one is a good lot bigger. There we are. There we go. Right, so now I'm going to get my string, hemp, whatever it's called, I do not know, and just cut off some. I don't know how much. I don't know what that is, 7 inches, something like that. Just enough so I can tie it, to be honest. And I'm going to pass that through there, then through the awl, like that. I don't want it too dangly, but I don't want it too tight either. Tie a knot in my string. Like so. And there we have it. Yes, lovely. Cut these ends off. Right, so when that goes into the coin envelope like that, that will be on the outside, so you will know there's something inside to pull, because if it wasn't there you wouldn't know there was anything inside. So that's quite nice. I quite like that. I like that idea. So same thing with this one, through there, through the hole, tie a knot and Bob's your uncle. I do say that rather a lot. I'm sorry about that if it gets on your wig. It's just one of those things that I say. So there we have it. Let's chop these ends off. Pop that into our little coin envelope. There we are. Something to pull. Huh? That's great. I love that. I love it. Right, so let's have another look at what we've done today, because we've done a little bit more now. We've got our 2 lovely coin envelopes with the nice little labels. I like those. Our 2 accordion pocket file folders. Our 2 envelopes. And our 2 journaling spots. Wow, haven't we been busy today? That's fabulous. That will really, where's my basket? That will really fill my basket up. I've still got some scraps in there actually. So let's put those in first, and then they'll get more weight on top of them. So 2 of those, 2 envelopes, 2 accordion file folders, and our 2 coin envelopes. Wow, look at that. It's getting full. It's getting full again, guys. I've still got plenty of room to go though. Okay, so I'll see you again really soon. I hope you have fun with those. I certainly had more fun with those than I thought I was going to have, and they turned out really quite nicely. So have fun, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.